say God's changed my ways, changed my ways, those evil ways. But I can't my evil way. I think it's a good shot. I don't know though. That's a wide 8. That's a big deer. Shooting right across the tractor seat. Alright guys. I don't know. I'm excited. I think that deer's hit. I'm not sure yet. We're gonna give it a few minutes. I've still got deer standing in the food plot. So I don't know. That's a good deer. That's a good deer. Maybe. I don't know. Cut the quality. I'm literally sitting tucked up against the tractor. I had deer walk through right here within 5 feet of me. There's still deer out there right now. Oh man, I'm on pieces. I don't know. That's a nice buck. That's one of our shooters. That was probably my number 3 on this one, but that's a freaking nice deer. He's wide. He's a nice 8. So I don't know. I'm going to go up here to the house, calm down, and we'll see. Appalachian Holler Hunters, North Carolina Muzzleloader, as you couldn't tell by the whiteout. Love this. This is my favorite season of the year. We'll see in just a minute. Y'all stick with us. All right, guys. So we've got a shot fired. Big white 8 that we know we've had on camera all summer long. It's a muzzleloader shot, so I don't know. He's not laying in the field, and it just completely whited out. whenever I fired the shot. So we're gonna go down here and look for blood. Hopefully we can find him. We got our tracking dog up here raising cane, so if we can't find him, maybe we'll put Jet on the trail, but we're gonna go down there and look anyway. So here we go. I've had to lay the camera down and extend the legs, and then stand the camera back up and tighten the legs in, extend the neck of it up, and shoot through between the tractor seat and the steering wheel. And so I've got the camera aiming through the middle of the tractor and the gun aiming through the middle of the tractor. And every time I'd lay down in the scope, my hat bill would hit the finder. So I had to turn my hat sideways like this and get down in the scope. I'm like, could this be any more of a cluster? It was crazy. Right here's a dang good blood for you. See it? See the blood? Yep. Yeah, he's here.
See that leaf? It's blood. I know that I shot it. Blood. Wow.
Good eyes, Porky. Holy.
Oh, it's right there. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's dead.
It's dead. It's
I ain't moved. I don't know if it's dead or not, but it ain't
All right,
moved.
let me go in and make sure.
There's your good picture, Christian. That's where a deer falls in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Dang thick.
He wide, boy.
Yeah, he's 18 inches. It's the same one I seen.
This is the White 8. We've had this guy on camera for all summer. We knew what he was. He's every bit of what we was. This is at least a 4-year-old deer, but he's wide, boy. He's nice. And he has run. He was quartering away. Entrance is right here. Come out right behind the shoulder. Blowed up the lungs and everything else, but he made it a long ways. We are in a thicket.
We're stuck.
Yeah, we're stuck.
We're in the stuff.
But it is rough in the cob in here. I'm gonna use on it to figure out which direction. The neighboring property has got a road north of us, and we're going to use Onyx to figure out where he's at or where they're at and go from there. Big jump. So close down, I bet you. Yeah, let's go in. All right, guys, we finally got him out of here. It took 6 of us to finally get him out of the thicket, but we got him. Muzzleloader buck 2021. It was a crazy evening. I was set up using the tractor as a blind, and all my deer had moved up into the garden spot where we've got it planted for a food plot. And so I stand up behind the tractor and look, and right back here behind us, I see him standing up here in the yard. And so he starts working his way down. Well, I don't have the camera set up to do any of this stuff, so I'm stretching legs out on the tripod, getting the camera extended up, and the whole time the deer's coming. Finally got the camera stood up where it's shooting between the seat and the steering wheel on the tractor, and then laid the gun up across the fender of the tractor, and he finally worked his way over where I could get a shot on him. Hit him a little bit back. He was quartering away. It went in right about here, come out right here at this offside shoulder, and we waited about an hour to track him. We got on blood about 20 yards in, and it was just poured. It looked like a perfect blood trail. And then we ended up trailing him probably half a mile or better. We found through just some steep thickets, laurel thickets. It's just an Appalachian mountain laurel thicket, that's all it was. But we finally got to him, and I called these boys, and these boys come to the rescue, and we put him on a sled and we drug his butt out of there. So here he is, and I am tickled to death. I'm too tired to be very happy, but I'm still tickled to death. And boys, I appreciate y'all's help. I really do. And that's it. This episode of Appalachian Holler Hunters is brought to you by Bone Collector Game Calls, Real Tree, Reveal Game Cameras, Onyx Hunt, Mountaineer Outfitters, Big and J Attractants, NAP Archery, Federal Ammunition, Garmin, Elk River Supply, and Scent Crusher.
What?
Tell us what's going on.
We're fixing to go get my deer.
What kind of deer?
It's a big deer.
It's a damn big deer.
It's big.
It's a big damn deer.
It ain't but 8 points, but they're long, and he's got a lot of mass. He's an old timer.
That's 140 plus 8 points.
Yes, it
That's a freaking giant.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Hang around it. We actually got gas for it. All right, boys. We have made it to our destination. Can we catch you like cheerleader?
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Watch your feet.
Down the hill. Down the hill. Good gracious almighty.
I told you to get out of the corn top. If it goes 20 feet, it drops off steep.
Yeah. You're up for a real steep. Get in there and hold him up.
Well, good shot. You didn't know that.
Good deer.
Sheesh. Look up here and smile. Appalachian holler hunters. Good Lord, Porky. All right, guys. Well, here he is. Dad was able to close the deal on this big boy last night during muzzleloader season, and he is an absolute stud. And it's a pretty cool story with this deer. We heard tell of this deer from a guy that works down the mountain, seen him cross the road, and we had a property not too far from there. So me and him went up there and we hung a tree stand and we put a camera up and started doing some baiting and stuff. And it wasn't, what, about a week and a half? About a week and a half, and he showed up. And he has been there 3 times a night, every night since then. Started getting some daylight pictures of him 2 nights ago, right before dark, and I told Dad it was windy as all get out last night. It was bad windy, but I told him, I said, if you're gonna get him, now's your chance. We need to get you in the stand this evening. So, second sit in on this deer and tell the story.
Well, I went up there early, and some neighbors are doing target practice. I really didn't expect to see anything. They quit shooting about 5 o'clock, and had 2 does with fawns come in, and come from both, one from one side of me and one from the other, and I couldn't understand why they didn't win me. They'd come in and eat around for a little while, and then one doe would run the other and off and back and forth. And just 6:30, a little after, this deer and another buck come in, and they stayed down in a laurel patch down below me. I could pick out spots of deer, but I couldn't be sure which deer was with which set of horns. And where they was at, if I'd shot him, he'd have rolled off the bank and went down a bad hill. And I don't like dragging deer.
We didn't want to do that twice in one week, did we?
No. So I let him rest a little while, and sooner or later he come up there and he was following one of the does and come up across the corn pile, and I shot him, dropped him on the corn pile. That way he wasn't too hard to drag.
He is a heck of a deer. He is a monster deer. And I'm telling you, I can't believe it. It worked out. I mean, exactly like it was supposed to. That was textbook of finding a deer and being able to get on him and put him down. It never works like that. It never ever works like that, but that is an awesome deer. I'm tickled to death for you.
Thank you. Just goes to show even a blind hog catch acorn every now and then. This deer's ears are split up. One ear's got 3 tears in it that's healed over. He'd been fighting for a long time.
Yeah, he's an old warrior.
Yep.
For sure, an old warrior. Well, that is one monster deer.
And he's a woods deer. He ain't a corn-fed deer.
No. No, this deer had never seen a corn pile until about a week and a half ago.
I don't think so.
He was not real heavy. He weighed, what, 176?
Yeah.
And that is just acorns and laurel leaves is all that was. So he's a heck of a deer.
Well, I thank you, Shane. I appreciate you setting that stand up with me and doing the legwork on this, because most of this you done yourself. You carried the corn and you helped the stand, and you picked the spot to start with.
Well, and this spot means a lot. It means a lot more to you than it does to me. This is a spot that, what, your great-grandfather?
My great-granddaddy had a cornfield up there.
Yep.
And that was in the edge of the cornfield where we was. So that land's been in the family for a long time.
A long time. We've got a lot of history with that property, and this is the first deer we've ever taken off this property. So.
Yeah.
we're tickled to death. I don't know that I've ever been any happier with a deer that I shot myself. All right, guys, we're gonna get him loaded up.